Hi, this is Katie Weeks, your independent, close to my heart maker. And today I am joining with the CTMH Twisted Sisters for a collaboration, and I have chose the Triangle Trees ThinCuts. So I have already cut some of these trees out of the sage cardstock, and here you'll see me cutting a few more of those triangle trees out of the mix-in paper that I'm going to be using on a layout for you today. When I saw these triangles, I was instantly inspired, and I had like all of these ideas that I started putting down on a little post-it note. If you ever see my catalogs, I cover them in post-it notes for ideas of things. So let me explain what I'm doing for my layout. This sheet of White Daisy is 11 by 11, and I cut a piece at 3 inches, 2 inches, and 1 inch from the mix-in papers. It's one of those quick little layouts that it's called 3-2-1, easiest thing you can do to make a quick layout. And I started mine about 2 inches up from the bottom of that 11-inch square cardstock. And then I did add a zip strip because it had stars on it, and so that will go perfectly with my layout. And then since stars are like sparkly and shiny, I thought some shimmer trim was in order, so I put some silver shimmer trim above these layers, and then I put it along the bottom of the layers too, just to jazz it up a little bit. And that's like the middle piece of my layout. And then I had also gutted a piece of sage cardstock that I'm going to be using as well. One of them I gutted myself and just cut it a 1-inch border around the outside, and the other one I cut on a Cricut cut, which I'll show you in a minute. So here I'm just trimming off the tiny little pieces, flipping it over, and then cutting that in my trimmer so that I have my 10-inch square. And so that should be perfect. Oh, I'm sorry. That's actually 11-inch square, an 11-inch White Daisy square. Okay, so here we go. There's my frame, and I'm going to put that on the bottom. I like to put just a little bit of adhesive on the 2 corners, and that just kind of helps hold my whole layout in place when I'm working. And then I put adhesive around the outside, and then put this on the top. And there we go. And then here is the crickets. I had cut out a bunch of pentagons, and I gutted another, you see a frame on that one as well. And some of the pentagons have frames and are the inside, and you're going to see what I'm going to do. Can anybody guess yet in the comments what I'm going to make with these pentagons and the triangle trees? It's just a fun little idea. So the layout that you saw, I did that twice so I can have a 2-page layout, and you can see a 3-by-3 picture will fit nicely in this little frame. I did that specifically so that there was a good picture size that we could trim down and put inside that frame. And I did use the middle 3 triangles. So I did not use the smallest one and the largest one for this. I just used those 3 middle ones for this particular layout, in case you want to duplicate it or something like that. So I have the triangles in sage cardstock, the mix ends, and then another one in sage cardstock. Both of I think I did the dark side of the sage cardstock for all of those. And I just layered them up, and you'll see me add the pieces together. And any guesses yet what I'm going to do with all of these? I had so many ideas for these triangles. I think you could make mountains. I think you could make trees. Obviously, that's what they were meant to be. I think you could do slices of pie. I think you could do something with like a quilt pattern. I'm using mine to make a star, and that's why I needed the pentagon to help me put them on just right for the stars. And I just made them like triple layers for the triangles, and then I have that pentagon in the middle, and the one that I cut out from the middle of the pentagon, you're going to see me use that as a template so that you can actually cut the picture that will fit right in the middle. So to line this up, I just use the layers that I have on my layout, and I lined it up centered with that 6-inch point, and then I put these sides to the stars all the way around. I was looking for a pentagon thin cut, but I don't think we've had one of those. Not that I could find. I think we've had a lot of hexagons, but I wasn't seeing pentagons, at least not the ones I could see. So I just kind of measured it up, made a Cricut cut, and it worked just nicely. You can see that fits in there just perfectly. So I will use that pentagon to make the cuts, and you could do the same thing on a picture. Just use it as your template and then trim your paper or your picture to size. And then I'm just going to put that placeholder in there so you would know what size picture would go in there whenever I have something appropriate to put on this layout. And then I know that that's what I can do for all of the other pictures if I want to use that pentagon shape again. So I have some extra frames and some other little pieces, and I'm going to lay those out. And another idea that I had for the triangles was to have pennants, a pennant across the top, like it's a party or something festive. So you see those extra pieces that I have from the mix-ins, I'm going to put those along the right hand layout as well. And on these, I don't know if you can tell, I'm actually using those strips of paper as my way of laying it out so I could figure out what was even and where I should put it. And then I use the light side of sage for the inside and then the dark side for the outside border. And that, you can't hardly see it, it's kind of off camera to the right, but that will be my little journaling box for my layout as well. And for these little triangles across the top, I just flip them every other one for the two sides, and it matches those layers that are on the layout as well. So I think it looked pretty nice. And once I get those all down, I come back with my Spectrum Noir metallic paint marker. We don't carry these from Close to My Heart anymore, but I really like that little 0.7 millimeter tip to the one marker, and I just made little stitching marks across the tops of these banners to just kind of spruce it up a little bit. And the silver looked nice with the silver shimmer trim, so I thought that would work pretty well. So here's that layout, and here's the other one, and here's all of the things that you can get with those triangles. They even have stamps. I think that little one at the top that I pointed to would look like the exhaust coming out of a car or somebody who's blowing air. It would look like something blowing out or something like that. There's just so many ideas. I think you could use these for arrows if you turn them on their sides. You could layer them up different ways. Just think outside the box and check back the next few days to see what all the other Twisted Sisters have in store for you as well.